Our next artist is Danielle Scott. Danielle has several pieces in this exhibition, and she is here. So Danielle, you can unmute yourself and share. Donna says hi.
Hi, I am Danielle Scott, and I am from Jersey City. I am also an art educator for about 19 years, and I am a mother of 3. I heard several artists in the conversation speaking about that talk that you have with your children. If you notice the pieces that are in the Thoughts and Prayers exhibition, they have children in them. So I started off as a trained oil painter, and painting wasn't fulfilling for me. And I knew that I needed to say a lot. So I stopped painting and started constructing reality and telling stories about things that were going on in our society. And I tend to listen to Nina Simone a lot. And there was a message that Nina Simone said, and she said, the duty of an artist is to tell the times. And as someone who is raising a 18-year-old son, and then I have a 3-year-old son, and I have a 17-year-old daughter, my work started to become more, how I want to say is geared towards the violence towards African American or people of color. I am a biracial child. My children are biracial as well. So I am Afro-Cuban, and religion is Jewish and Polish. So what I always see is I see my children and I know who they are, but when I send my children out into the world, no one is going to know that my children are biracial. And this piece that Donna is showing up is basically a target. And for me, I feel that because my child was born with a certain skin tone, he is now a target. And as he walks out standing proudly at 6'1", light skin, he's looked at as someone to fear. And that is not exactly who my son is. My son speaks 3 different languages. He plays about 4 instruments. He is in Lemoyne College in Syracuse for aerospace engineering. Actually, he changed it to business, but that is not what you're gonna know when you see my child. And I've had to have that talk with my child. Not the birds and the bees, but how to not react to a cop if he is approached, or how to react to anyone if he's approached. And he has been harassed just in a store or followed. And, you know, we're from Jersey City, but we live in Plainfield, New Jersey, and my son attended Union Catholic. He's now in another Jesuit college. So these are things that children of color face constantly. So this piece is this all we're made of? So I don't know if everyone can see that and the bullet shells that are in it. Like I said, a lot of my pieces, this piece has, this is from a series called Heavy and Loaded. And I was in a residency program at MATA Contemporary in Jersey City. And I completed 24 pieces within that series. It was a solo show that was showcased at Index Gallery in Newark, and that is one of the pieces. There are, I think, Christy, you have about 4 images. The other image is very dear to my heart. It's called Auction Souls. So Auction Souls piece has a lineup of children. And there's the girls and the boys that are facing each other. And like I said, I'm a mom of 3. My 2 oldest are 17 and 18. And when slaves were lined up, they were measured to see who was the best built, best fit to be bought. And even though we are in the, it's 2020, it's still happening. It happens in sports when, you're looking at your favorite player, whatever player you want, wherever player you want to recruit. So the piece is called Auction Souls, and it's children. And this is what you see right now. They're children, and their insides are bones. There's little gold guns. There's nails. I have rulers because slaves were measured in that process. There's also one child that is full of bullets because African American children at this point are just seen as that, as targets of these children that are going to do something. Men of color, women, even women of color at this point are being targeted. So that's this piece. And like I said, the majority of my work now is I try to produce thought-provoking work that is going to make you ask the question of why. And I was told that work like this would never be showcased or displayed because it was too harsh of a reality to look at. But I know that this message needs to be sent to the world about how people of color, and I'm not just saying African Americans, I'm saying all, Hispanic, Indian, how we are treated and looked at for being different. So a lot of my work, like I said, it's politically drawn, or not politics. It's about gun violence. It's about shooting. It's just about, you know, you see one thing or one image and you see this person of color and you're instantly feeling like you're afraid of that person. My mother is Cuban and you can't tell my mom, everyone thinks my mom is white. So when I'm with my mother, it's very different. And the reality is, like I said, this is still going on years later. And I don't know when it's going to stop. And all I can do is protect my children by, you know, explaining myself to them, telling them what to be aware of, and that's it. And I'm not going to stop creating. My new body of work, my children are a part of that as well. And also a lot of the men of my family. So they will be used in my work. So I guess that's it.
Thank you, Danielle. Our next artist to share is, where are we? Joan Sonnenfeld.
Hold on.
Yeah, we're unmuted now.
We unmuted? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Joan is
Okay. Hi, I'm a painter and a collage artist. My oil painting gun show demonstrates how the NRA and its lobbyists seduce politicians with their song and dance and pay out for their campaigns or whatever. That's why we have assault weapons that are legal, even though most people don't want them. And that's why politicians turn a tin ear. In Washington, it's all about the money, not justice or compassion. That's what we have to change. Thanks, Chrissy, for this opportunity for all of us to contribute to meaningful change.
Thank you, Joan. And Joan has another piece in the exhibition called Bloodshots. It's on the far right, on the top.
Right. It's about the movie, TV, game show industry, and how for years violence has been perpetrated within that industry. And we've been weaned on it since children. And yeah, it's an addiction.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
So our next artist is Sabrina. And Sabrina has two pieces in the exhibition. Sabrina, are you there?
I am. Hi. Yeah, thanks for having me. I am really enjoying a lot of the other art here. So the first piece, if you could go to the gun, because that was made in 2014.
That's that one.
Yeah, there you go. So I created this at the end of creating a series on mass incarceration, which happened because I moved to Harlem and I got involved in a mixed race guy and moved in and saw things. The stop and frisk was happening then, and just saw treatment of people that was unrecognizable to me as a white woman raised in suburbia with white privilege. So actually a lot of it was, I wrote an article at the time called White Girl Wakes Up. That's what it was about. So really Harlem really changed the trajectory of my art and which direction it went. So the gun is meant to be participated with. It's big enough to where you stand in front of it and it's on a rotating base and you rotate it and aim it at whoever you like and get your photo op done with it. So there you go. You can rotate it. There you go. So trying to add the super, super dark humor. I use the stuffed animals because we have created weapons that destroy people, but we are not psychically prepared. We're children, psychologically and psychically, so we are not prepared to use these things that we have created. We're out of balance, technically, to our psyche. So that piece came from really from mass incarceration and then slipped into gun violence. The other piece, it's on the wall, it looks like Hand of God. I just finished during COVID. And so in 2020. And so the idea was I wanted to talk about who created who. And so if you can get up close to the human hand, you can see that it's decoupaged with, that's the God hand, but that's okay. There you go. There's 20 different languages of prayers to God written on this. And then the God hand has zeros and ones. And basically that's what I'm thinking, that we program all this stuff to happen. And that's what it means to me. And that's where all the detritus comes from and everything, because we kind of basically, we have an intention, we say a prayer, and we create physical things. That's what we do. So, so that's what those two pieces are about for me. It's not directly gun violence, the second piece, but talks about kind of everything we go through, I think. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. Our next artist is Kaneshi Unichua. Kaneshi is a freelance photographer currently based out of Madison, Wisconsin. He was first drawn to photography by images documenting the underground b-boy breakdance battle scene. He began taking photos in the realm of 2017 and has since branched out to street photography, landscapes, and portraits. As he develops his style, Kaneshi aims to both tell stories that have not been told, as well as offer a fresh perspective on the things we see daily. His work is featured in the virtual exhibition space only. We have Patriotism and Paranoia and Don't Tread on Me. Jody Walker is a painter and novice woodworker originally from New Jersey, the bat capital of the world. She currently resides in New Hope, Pennsylvania. She's been actively selling art since 2011. She paints bats, makes metal sculptures of bats, and has become decently proficient with the jigsaw and scroll saw that helps her cut out crazy bat shapes. You may also know her as Bat Factory. Jody is constantly searching out new mediums and styles, and much more than just bats. She has a love for things that are strange and unusual with a side of humor. She has been known to haunt events all over New Jersey and Pennsylvania. The particular piece that's featured in our exhibition here is titled Don't Shoot, made with spray paint pen on canvas. Our next artist is Sue Eldridge Ward, which I believe I saw. Sue is here, and she has 2 pieces in the exhibition. Sue, would you like to speak?
Yes, I'm sorry, just unmuted. Yeah, so this work is basically about looking at the intersection between media and society, and how society feeds media, and how media feeds society. And when I was looking at my source material to put into the paintings from media, I found that there were 2 themes that just was prevalent in everything, which was violence and love. And I started to question whether those were exclusive, and if in fact we needed one to have the other. If you look at my paintings, you can see a lot of reference to nature, and nature to me is the unself-conscious part of us. And as we gain consciousness or self-awareness as humans, I believe that we in fact do have a choice between violence and love, and I think that love is 100% the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And our last artist is Kristen T. Woodward. Kristen T. Woodward received her BFA in printmaking from Syracuse University and her MFA in studio art from Clemson University. Her mixed media works combine painting and print processes and often utilize found collage materials. Woodward is currently a professor of art at Albright College, teaching painting, printmaking, and interdisciplinary courses on drawing and biology, and gender and the visual arts. She is the resident curator for the artists2artists.net. The work featured in the gallery's space at Shishama is titled 50 Ways Liberty, Mixed Media on Gun Target. So that concludes the physical space. We are now going to set our sights into the virtual gallery. And I want to just, before I go through the virtual gallery, I want to just let everyone know that in order to make the space work and make sense, I had to change dimension sizes to most everyone's works. So if you are interested in purchasing a piece, please make sure you know that dimensions may not be accurate. So at this point, we will be going through the tour, and I just realized I need to change my settings slightly. Technology is not fun, I'll tell you that. Let's see, I'm gonna just go back to start, I think. No, back to start. Okay. So this website is called Kunstmatrix for anyone who's interested. And I'm just going to use the directional arrows, and I'm going to read the name and title of each piece, and if someone has a question, we will answer it. Since most artists already gave an introduction, at this point, I'll just be reading off our list of artworks. Unless you are only featured in the digital gallery, then I'll give you a few extra moments to speak. So this is Book of Esther by Danielle Scott, and this is a mixed media assemblage. This is Brand New God by Dominic Sansone. And this is Cast Urethane Plastic and a replica of an AK-47. And this is a life-sized installation piece that would take up an entire room space. This is not just a model or a photograph. This would actually take up an entire room. This is Schoolhouse Shooting by George Lorio, found and assemblaged wooden blocks and a toy. Sacrilege, Mother Emanuel by George Loriot. Paint on Wood, Found Blocks with Toys. Gun Parts 2 by Tally Margolin. Acrylic, pencil, gouache, ink, paper on cardboard. Gun Parts 1 by Tally Margolin. Acrylic, pencil, gouache, ink, paper on cardboard. Green Guns by Margaret Rolecki, monoprint with collage. Tree of Life, oh, I apologize for that. Tree of Life by Wendy Cohen, canvas and fabric on wood. And as you noticed in our exhibition space, this is just the wall hanging without the installation itself. So I highly recommend you come to the gallery space physically if you can, so you can see it as an installation. And again, if you have any specific questions, please feel free to put it in the chat and I will answer as we go, or the artists will answer as we go. Bad Hombres by Dominic Sansone, cast aluminum. Recaps and Reconnaissance, Red by E. Sherman Heenan, Sgraffito, and Mixed Media on Museum Board. All Through the Night, She Could Only Weep by Sue Eldridge Ward, nail polish and inkjet print, transfer on board. No Peace Could Be Found by Sue Eldridge Ward, nail polish and inkjet print, transfer on board. And before I move on, I forgot to mention, and I'd like to share this with you now, if you're navigating through this virtual gallery on your own space, there's a little eye icon button that you can press on, and it will give you further details about the artwork and the artist. And so I just wanted to share that with each of you now before I forgot. There's so many things you have to remember when you're doing a virtual opening. This is Good Guy with a Gun by Brian McCormick, flat wooden cutout. And I'm going to exit the detailed view for that piece so that you could see it better because it's white on white. So I have to bop around the gallery to get there. And there it is, it looks a little better, not in the detailed view. So I'm gonna click on him again to get back there and get back on track. Our next piece is Children at Play by local artist, aluminum, vinyl, steel post, and concrete. Square Up by local artist, aluminum, vinyl, steel post, and concrete. RGB Crossing by local artist, aluminum, vinyl, steel post, and concrete. Trayvon Martin's Candy Gun, Brutal Attack Weapon by Gusty Kincaid, PLA buttons on acrylic with inkjet print. And Gusty, since you're featured only in the virtual gallery, do you have a few words you'd like to add to this piece?
This was a piece that was actually inspired, you could say, by the shooting of Trayvon Martin by the crazy George Zimmerman one night. And I used a candy gun motif because the assailant claimed that Trayvon Martin had attacked him with a brutal weapon. That was in the trial. The phrase that he used was a brutal attack weapon. And it turned out that when the police examined the corpse of Trayvon Martin, all they found was a bag of Skittles. So I made a candy gun. And that's what this is. And then the hand up there just saying, oh no, don't shoot. It's basically it.
And Gusty, not only is this physically a piece that's made with, as you can see, glass, it's on glass and whatnot, it's like a 3D wall sculpture, but this also is available as a print as well, correct?
That's right, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is Red, White, and Blue by Church of Art. Original research with acrylic on painted paper and Tyvek. And this is the QR code that I mentioned. You can literally take your phone to the screen and take a picture of it, and it will come up to the PDF on Church of Art's website to show you the list of people that she researched in the year of 2000. I believe it's 2019. I don't know if you're on your phone, you can do it right now, but you know, if you want to explore the gallery on your own at a certain later date, this is how you would do it. You just click, you know, take a picture with your phone. Oh, Reba Holly says, yes, you can. So you can just do it right on your phone. Okay, so our next piece is Fifth Grade, Back Off or Eat My Lead by Patrick Hay. Mixed media acrylic on wood panel. Shooting Killing by George Loriot, found wooden blocks and paint on plywood. For the High School by Patrick Hay, mixed media acrylic on wood panel. Protection Amulet for Black Lives by Chi Bravo, and bricolage installation. These are Legos and bullet shell casings, as she told me she found in her neighbor's backyard. Protection Amulet for Women by Chi Bravo, bricolage installation. Stagecoach Mary by Kimberly Camp, acrylic on canvas. And Kimberly, I just want to thank you for just the fact that I have seen and know about Stagecoach Mary now, because I had not heard of her until this painting, and she's just, people should know who she is. She's, you know,
It's actually a bio written about her. She's quite famous, but you know, again, it's that dearth of information about African-American history being American history.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I feel like I'm always, you know, you gotta keep exposing yourself so that you can keep learning. So I'm just glad that I know who Stagecoach Mary is now. Thank you. Our next piece is The Playground by Pam Cooper. Mixed media, handmade abaca paper, Xerox transfer of drawings and altered photographs, wood, found objects, canvas, pins, thread, hand-sewn books. Don't Shoot by Jody Walker, spray paint and paint pen on canvas.